he hurt him at the end. Oh my god. Did that count as a knockdown? The final shot of the fight drops him. Alright, what's going on, everybody? So Misfits 21 just finished, and oh my god, what a card. I had high expectations for this card, but it exceeded it. Basically, every single fight was a good fight besides, surprise, the Modin versus Wakey Wines fight was a mistake. I tried to tell y'all. But besides that, it was an amazing card. So I'll be giving my instant reaction and my overall breakdown of the entire event. Real quick, before I get into the video, 97% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you like Misfits boxing content, UFC or pro boxing content, I post 3 to 4 times a week on the channel at least, so make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you. For all the people saying that Misfits is dying, where you guys at now? Because this event was amazing. From the very start, there was a couple iffy ones, but overall it was just a very good card. The first fight that I'm going to be talking about, though, is Price versus Manila. Talking about a crazy upset. I haven't seen a crazier upset since the H2O Silv when he got knocked out. That was a crazy knockout too. But this had the same exact vibe because Price was winning every single round easily. And he was this 19-0 prospect, supposed to be the big deal in the Misfits Pro division. And at first he looked like it. At first he was working his jab. He was slipping Manila's punches very easily. He had a very good counter shot, a pull counter shot. But eventually it ended up getting him caught because he went to go for a pull shot again. And then Manila finally lands a right hand right on Price's chin that knocks him out cold. Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Out of nowhere, what the fuck just happened? I was borderline almost done recording and taking notes to the rounds, but I'm glad that I kept recording because that was a devastating right hand. It really came out of nowhere. Price was doing so well in the fight. He was really styling. He was taunting him. He was doing all this. And Manila was walking forward the entire time and not giving up, which is why he ended up finding that shot. But oh my god, man. They're probably going to have to run this back because if they want to redeem Price, he's going to have to redeem himself right away because out of nowhere, he got fraud checked. So that was nuts. I don't even want to say fraud check because boxing, it could literally be one shot anytime, man. And he just got too relaxed. And that was a nasty knockout. Don't want to take away from Manila. He should get knockout of the night. I know he's not the biggest name, but I hope he gets the bonus because what a shot. All right, next fight. This is probably one of the more dull fights of the card, but that just speaks on how good the card was. And to be fair, they were really trying their best. It just kind of felt like a spar. I couldn't help but feel like it was kind of dull. And that is Joey Knight versus Andrew Housen. Now, this is one of my picks for a dark horse fight of the night. And it just wasn't really because it was really just Joey the entire time. Joey came out fainting very heavy. And Andrew Housen, for the most part, wasn't biting on him. But Joey was way faster than Andrew Housen. It wasn't even close. It barely was even fair. Really, the only thing Housen was able to land was the right hand. But he wasn't really able to land on Joey much because you know how Joey is. He's so in, out, feint heavy, moving his head, showboating for the crowd. And I'm not going to lie, I love Joey Knight, but he was forcing it in this fight. I'm not going to lie. He seemed like he was doing a little bit too much to make it a show, which I appreciate. It just seemed like he was spamming it and it became a bit repetitive. Even Andrew Housen, after he dodged some, styled a bit too. So ultimately, it was a fun fight. It was just kind of dull. I know it's kind of weird to say something fun and dull in the same sentence, but that's exactly what it felt like, to be honest. It wasn't a bad fight by any means, but it felt like Joey could have finished him at any point, and he just didn't seem like he wanted to. He just wanted to put on a show, and I can't hate it. Joey Knight's one of the more entertaining boxers in Misfits. Andrew Housen was a tank and took some pretty good shots off Joey. But it was obvious that Joey was trying to land some sick counter shot where he slipped his head off and threw a winging shot. He was fighting like he wanted some edits on him. So everybody please make some TikTok edits of Joey Knight so he could chill out a little bit in the next fight. He was trying to be Prince Nassim in this fight. But yeah, Joey Knight did very well in this fight. He easily won this fight. He probably won every single round. So great performance by Joey Knight. And Andrew Housen didn't get sparked out like I thought he was. So ended up being an alright fight. Not too many complaints. Next fight was Survivor Tag. Now, it was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. A little bit better, but it still wasn't great. I'm not going to lie. The premise is just a bit messy. And It does make it was a little bit more like interesting this time, I would say. They weren't tagging in the same people in their corner every single time. There was some strategy with the tags, some good, some bad. But for the most part, Temple Arts just schooled everybody that was in the ring with him. It is obvious that he is the most experienced and the most technical out of all of them. You can just tell by the way he throws punches. Don't get me wrong, he loves to wing that overhand, but he sets it up. The others just wing shots without setting them up. So round one was easily tempo. I believe, oh yeah, he hurt Big Tobes badly, but a tag out saved him. He basically had Big Tobes out on his feet, and if Big Tobes was dropped, he was going to be eliminated, but he ended up being the first person eliminated after the third round anyways. And it's kind of weird because I feel like Big Tobes was the second best one there, but his strike defense is just not good. He gets clipped way too often, but offensively, he's second most technical, I would say, but he just keeps getting himself into trouble. I felt like Godson and Pritchard were way less skilled, but Pritchard ended up making to the end because he was very elusive with his jab. He had very good movement for a heavyweight, I would say. And he landed some good straight right hands. He did better than Godson. That's probably why he was there. But for the most part, it wasn't very close. Tempo was beating all of them every time he was in the ring. The best person probably was Pritchard because he just had the Devin Haney method of moving, jabbing, then throwing the right hand and right across. Yeah, so Godson was the second elimination. He wasn't dropped or anything. They eliminated from the overall scorecards. And then, oh yeah, Pritchard actually won round 5 because Tempo started to gas out. And Pritchard actually didn't look too bad, but he clinched way too much in the 5th round. The 5th round was actually pretty ugly. And he was really just on his back foot, circling, clinching, and then jabbing. And it was enough in the 5th round to outpoint Tempo, and he had him against the ropes a little bit. Pritchard could have some potential to be better, but until then, I don't really want to see him, to be honest. If he's in there moving and clinching, it's just not good for heavyweight. It's supposed to be the more finish guaranteed divisions and Misfits. So, great win by Tempo Arts, but yeah, this Survivor tag, even Mams Taylor says this is the last time. It's for the best. Tag team works, but this one's just a bit sloppy. The first elimination from the scorecards took about 2-3 minutes at least, so it was just a messy overall thing. They just stick to normal tag team, but great performance by Tempo Arts. And then they said it's going to be Tempo versus Kells now. Tempo was not rocking with that, by the way. It was straight up saying, no, I want Chase. Seems like they're forcing it down Tempo's throat. Hey, yo. So we'll see if it's going to be Kells or Chase more. We'll see. Next fight, Modin versus Wakey Wines. Now I thought this fight already didn't belong on this card, but in perspective of how good this card was, it was just so stupid to put this shit on there. So, how this fight went, Wakey Wines threw pause the first 10 to 15 seconds. I'm not going to lie to you. He threw pause and Modin just ran away. Surprise there. Then, there was no punches landed in rounds 2 or 3. I swear to God, probably 1 or 2 combined in those 2 rounds. So, yeah, so entertaining, Misfits. So entertaining. Then Modin swung for the last 10 seconds of the fight, and that was the fight. There's no world where there's a good fight. No world. Nobody cares about them. It wasn't a good fight. It wasn't a good result. Wakey Wines won, so you could go scam some more Kids of Prime. I guess, yeah, fuck this fight. I'm moving on. Next fight, and oh my god, what a performance. This caught me off guard. Fox, I am so sorry for underestimating you. Waleed Sharks versus Fox the G. This might be one of the best performances Misfits has seen because we knew the experience difference was so drastic even though Waleed has been outside the ring for 2 years. Fox the G not only outgritted Waleed in this fight, but he outboxed Waleed in this fight. Nuts. So, early in the fight and throughout the fight, Fox stayed long on his jab and did well with his jab, basically almost making it impossible for Waleed to close the distance. And it wasn't like Fox was staying patient in this fight either. He mixed up his pressure and his technical boxing together perfectly in this fight. He moved his head well to slip Waleed shots perfectly. Fox looked like he's been boxing for 5 years. This was one of the best performances that I've seen in Misfits. He dominated Waleed Sharks in this fight. Waleed was unable to close the distance the entire fight. Besides round 2, he did better pushing back Fox and did work, but he really couldn't close the distance and was only able to work work Fox in the clinch with dirty boxing. Besides that, Fox was fucking up Waleed Sharks. I cannot believe it watching it. Fox G is insanely good. His footwork is great. His jab is great for his size. He is the perfect length for this weight division. He is so much taller than everybody else. And he has power where you can just not go in recklessly with him because you will get hurt. Dude, whoever slept on Fox, including me before this fight, Fox G is going to be the future of Misfits. I guarantee you right now. You can sit here and say, oh, Waleed is washed. No, dude, Waleed is legit. Fox is just that dude. The way he was working his jab and mixing in his crazy blitzes while also being technical, while moving his head great, while also moving his feet great, moving around the ring perfectly, taking control of the fight. It was an absolute masterclass by Fox the G. Fox Townley is about to run Misfits. People say, where's Misfits without KSI? People like Fox, Salt Poppy, Slim, Gibb, they're starting to take over. Especially Fox the G. I think that he's emerging as potentially the face of Misfits boxing. So, people think he's cringe because he wears a do-rag. You motherfuckers care about the wrong shit. I'm so serious. You guys care about the stupidest shit. Because he is out here putting on absolute great performances. And he absolutely outclassed Waleed Sharks. So, amazing fight for Fox the G. We might need to see Fox versus Dean now. Or a little cray-cray. Let me know what you guys think down below. We might see Fox beat Dean because we know Dean has some weaknesses too. What a masterclass by Fox the G. Oh my lord. What a fight. And we got another breakout performance. Chase Damore versus Tank Tolman. Oh my lord, Chase Damore. Chase Damore locked in is a different beast. What the fuck did I just see what did Gary All just turn Chase Damore into? He was moving his feet. He was sticking his jab and actually technically boxing. He was still putting his chin high up in the air and backing up and seemed like he was afraid to get hit until, well, he got dropped by a shot by Tank Tolman early in the fight. Oh! Chase is not part of the script. And it's almost like Chase needed that because after that, Chase was no longer over-exaggerating his head movement whenever a punch is being thrown, flinching at every single feint. He was actually standing in there and trading after that. It was almost like he needed to get clipped in his career to realize, you know what, I can take a shot and walk forward. I don't need to be so scared to get him punched because you could tell because he got dropped early in round 2. Then, at the exact same round, Chase grits down on his gum shield and then catches Tank Tolman and drops him back at the end of the round. Oh! Oh shit! Oh, why is this actually the best fight right now?
It's Conor McGregor.
Then, in round 3, he reached flow state. I cannot believe I'm using flow state and Chase Damore in the same video. But, oh my lord, he actually landed 2 back-to-back beautiful straight right hands that knocks out Tank Tolman in round 3. Oh. Oi! Oi! Oh my god! Oh my god! No fucking way.
That's 8. That's 9.
Oh! Chase! Oh my god! Chase Damore, dude. Holy fuck. Chase just has that X factor of his power because the absolute unit that he is. And now that he is able to accurately land his punches, be able to take punches without weaving his head way back so he doesn't get knocked out cold. It seems like Coach Gary is really doing his work with Chase Damore. The fact that he's able to stay patient now, work his jab. I haven't seen him go to the body a bit. Just overall to set up that straight right hand. I even seen him throw some hooks in this fight. For Chase Damore, that's almost unheard of. We've seen Chase Damore throw 1-2s his entire career. It really seems like Coach Gary is really unlocking his potential. And he's starting to be dangerous, man. A locked-in Chase Damore is actually a dangerous fighter. He isn't trolling as much. He's actually legit. So Chase Zamora, when he's actually locked in, is actually a dangerous fighter. So I wonder what's next for Chase. It seems like it's going to be the winner of Tempo versus Kells. So we'll see if he does a fight before that, but most likely it's going to be the winner of that. That is exciting, though. Oh, my Lord. Now, for the co-main event, Idris Virgo versus Ty Mitchell. Now, I knew Ty Mitchell was going to outclass Idris Virgo, but oh, my Lord, Idris Virgo got fucked up. Now, Ty Mitchell was working his jab. He was the taller fighter by a good amount in this fight, and Idris was really struggling to close the distance the entire fight. Ty Mitchell was just sticking and moving, working his jab, and then setting up his back left hand, which caught Idris a bunch of times in this fight. Whether it was a straight, an uppercut behind that back hand, he was landing it at will because Idris just kept walking into it. Idris's game plan was interesting in this fight. He just kept walking into the fire, right into the jab and right into the backhand shots. And he just constantly wouldn't give up and trying to close the distance. And it got him fucked up. And like I said, I knew he was going to get outpointed, but he didn't even just get outpointed. He got messed up and he ended up getting TKO'd at the end of round 3.
And the champ insisted on the 8 rounds himself.
Oh! Idris is hurt! Idris is hurt bad! Oh! Oh, another one. Oh. Oh. Oh, he waves it. Holy shit. Wow, that was a domination. And you could definitely say that was deserved because Idris Virgo was crossing the line in the trash talk before the fight because as we know, Idris Virgo isn't very charismatic. He isn't a good trash talker. He isn't a good YouTuber, influencer, boxer. No matter what he says he is not good at that side of the aspect at all. He's supposed to be this special undefeated boxer. Now he got exposed, so I really wonder what they're going to do. But like I was saying, before the fight, he was bringing up this whole past thing where Ty Mitchell supposedly killed somebody when he was a teenager. I don't know if it's self-defense. I don't know. We're not going to get into that. But that wasn't even the crazy thing. What Idris said was, I don't know if this is exactly the quote, but how much of a bitch do you need to be killed by you? Basically calling out the person that got murdered by Ty Mitchell, saying that they are a bitch because they got murdered by Ty Mitchell. Well, what does that make you, Idris? Because you just got fucked up. That was super disrespectful from Idris. So I'm really glad he got fucked up like that because that is a crazy thing to say. Just because you're a bad trash talker doesn't mean you have to go that low. We've seen it with Colby Covington. He's a good trash talker, but him bringing up Leon's dad, all that shit is loser behavior. So I'm glad he got fucked up. But yeah, Ty Mitchell is very good. He's very technical, and he has some power. Very slick. So I knew he was going to beat Idris Virgo, but not like that. Goddamn. All right, now for the main event of the evening, Darren Till versus Darren Stewart. Now, this was an absolute grimy, amazing war, dude. This was such a good scrap. Overall, it was back and forth. I ultimately thought it was a tie, but I'll get to that in a second. So, early on in the fight, Darren Stewart did what he did the entire fight. He was walking down Darren Till, but it wasn't working out for him at first because he got caught with a huge left hook in the first round that drops him. Oh! Oh, big left hand. Already drops Darren Stewart on his ass. And early in this fight, man, like especially the first 2 rounds, Darren Till could not miss that straight left hand. He was landing it at will, which at first was kind of dazing Darren Stewart. But I don't know what happened in between rounds because Darren Stewart implanted iron into his face or something like that. I don't know if he put on the Iron Man suit and it was transparent. But he was, after that, besides one other time, which we'll get to, he was just eating Darren Till shots and was just walking forward like Frankenstein, just eating shots, walking forward, going into the pressing in Darren Till against the ropes, landing hooks to the body, upstairs, really making Till work the entire fight. Now, I really thought it was back and forth. The first 2 rounds I thought Darren Till got, and then the next 2 rounds I thought Darren Stewart got, so it was 2-2 in my eyes. Excuse me. Yeah, so rounds 3 and 4, Darren Stewart was smothering Till, and Till was having no success. Then round 5, I would say that Darren Till landed enough counter shots for him to get that round. I'm so sorry, dude. Never eating Taco Bell before this video again. Fuck. But yeah, he was landing enough jabs and counter shots and pushing Darren Stewart enough back where he was able to get round 5. Then, yeah, it was 3-3 after that. Stewart pressures even more. Then it was 3-4 Stewart. I thought he won that round. And then ultimately, I had Darren Stewart winning 5-3 in the last round until Darren Till lands a buzzer beater straight left hand that knocks down Darren Stewart at the very end of the fight out of nowhere. Oh! Oh, we heard him at the end! Oh my god! Does that count as a knockdown? The final shot of the fight drops him. Did he just make that a tie? So yeah, man, I don't know what Darren Stewart is made out of, but he took a lot of big shots off Till. And Darren Till took a lot of big shots off Darren Stewart. But, man, shout out to Darren Stewart, man. Everybody was counting him out, including me. I think I even predicted an early knockout, which, to be fair, at first it didn't look like that was going to happen. But, man, he just gritted out this fight and showed why he is such a tough dude. I think Misfits should have him back. 1,000,000%. I think even the rematch should happen. I know it's probably not going to happen because Darren Till wants other fights, but I thought it was a draw. I think Darren Stewart was winning the fight until the knockdown at the very end. And I think that secured a draw because I thought it was 4-4. I thought it was 5-3 until the knockdown, but obviously that threw things into a spin at the very last second of the fight. I don't remember the last time or any time I saw a buzzer beater shot win somebody the fight. Because I think even in the... because here's the thing. I didn't understand the scorecards. They said a unanimous decision for Darren Till. I understand he was probably more accurate than Darren Stewart, but I don't understand it, man. Because Darren Stewart was pressuring and smothering Darren Till a lot in that fight. So I thought it was a draw. But ultimately, no fighter on this card, besides maybe Modin or Wakey Wines, should be ashamed of their performance. They all put on absolute wars. So respect to all the fighters, especially the main event and others that I mentioned that were huge on this card, because the main event, man, they both took a lot of damage. They definitely should both be evaluated at the hospital after that fight. It's just one of those fights where, what was the clip of Dana? I don't know what fight, but he was like, get these guys to the hospital now. That's how I feel about that fight, because they both took huge shots. What an absolute war. There was so much sportsmanship, too, throughout the entire fight. They were both psychos. I think there was even borderline cheap shots throughout the fight on both sides, but they both just smiled it off, almost like they enjoyed the cheap shots. They're psycho, but man, I almost want the rematch. So let me know if you guys agree down below. But yeah, man, Misfits 21 ended up being very good. I think they made up for the 2 cancellations of the events. People were acting like Misfits was about to die, but they proved that they're not going anywhere anytime soon. We got people like Fox the G that might be the face of the company. We got Darren Till and Misfits now that is a superstar. We got Darren Stewart now. And we got Chase Demore that doesn't look like much of a meme anymore. He looks pretty legit. So we'll see what the next fight for all those fighters are going to be. I'm very excited. I wonder what they're going to do for Misfits 22. They haven't announced it yet, but I'll make a video when that's announced. Thank you guys for listening to me yap like usual. If you want to follow any of my socials, that'll be in the description. I put them on the screen. But I got to rush this out so I can be on your algorithm. So God bless every single one of you. And peace out.